As a student, you're obligated to be around people you might not want to be near. In class, we have all sat next to the person that had really bad body odor, a popping jaw, reeked of alcohol, or coughing and sniffling so violently you thought for sure in a matter of minutes you'd be infected. But what happens when someone you work with, you're friends with, or live with has a bad habit that could eventually kill them? How do you politely tell them you're worried?
Smoking is something that I tried since freshman last year to stop doing.
They usually say, it's not a great health decision, it wastes money financially, and, I just respond to their arguments by, it's my decision, it's my choice to smoke, basically you can't quit something that you don't want to quit.
If he's a good buddy of mine, I'll tell him what I see, or I'll tell him what I see.
I usually avoid confrontation in those situations.
Shockingly, 2/3 of American adults are overweight. 45 million smoke, 18 million are alcoholics, and 17 million suffer from clinical depression.
I think it's always really hard to have those kinds of conversations with people because there's part of it that looks like you're being really judgmental. And that can always be a challenge. You also want to make sure that you understand where you're coming from. Is this a medical problem? Is there something deeper going on here? So you need to kind of understand your relationship with the person and understand, do you even have a place bringing this up, or is there somebody better? If you do determine that you are the one to bring this up, you want to make sure that you do this privately. You don't want to do this in front of anybody. You don't want to do it where somebody else can hear you, because that's just going to undo everything that you're trying to do. I think the next thing that you want to do is you want to, as much as possible, focus it back to something that happened to you. So I remember when I had to quit smoking. I've never smoked, but that's just as an example. I remember when I overcame something that was really hard and it was such a challenge, but somebody came to me and talked to me and it changed my life, and that's why I'm talking to you.
One of the headlines in BBC recently said increasing numbers of Americans are too fat to fit into X-ray machines. Now obesity can prevent you from getting medical help. But ironically enough, you probably haven't noticed, some of the Coca-Cola machines here on campus market to us by having pictures of Drumheller Fountain and Red Square. So when you have to tell someone to watch out for their health, there are some guidelines you must follow.
Oh, I think the worst thing that you could do is embarrass somebody publicly, is say something in front of other people where they will not only be uncomfortable about the thing that you're talking to them about, but also uncomfortable with the way you raised it, and that's going to get anger.
America is a very individualist society. Many live by the concept of every man for himself, and only the strong survive, which is good for being progressive, but if we don't start looking out for each other's physical health, there may not be enough strong people left to make America survive.
In those situations, it's just important to be able to back up your side, listen to theirs, maybe learn a bit from each other about how each other thinks about things. And sometimes it does reach a point of agreeing to disagree.
Reporting from the University of Washington, I'm Shanelle Smith.